Yeah, guys and girls, welcome back to another daily news. I haven't done one of these for a while, but I want to just do some really serious shit today. Now, I've only just looked at this. Apparently, this is 2 days old, so this should be like what are we now? We're 28th, so it'd be 26, 26. Yeah, 26. So this would have been Sunday.
Yeah, it would be.
Okay, so Sunday. Anyway, so the title is Sky News. They're actually reporting on a case at the moment, so apparently they've put it on there with suspicion, basically. Paul Gascoigne arrested at a train station on suspicion of sexual assault. Now, I believe he's been on bail, or he's been basically let go to further investigations into it. The 51-year-old was held by the police at Durham rail station following allegations of a woman was touched inappropriately on a cross-country service from York. Gascoigne from Gateshead had been released while officers continued to investigate the incident on Monday evening. The ex-Newcastle, Tottenham and Rangers star, who has had a well-publicised battle with alcohol addiction, recently denied he was drunk during an appearance on Sky's Soccer AM. And there's some pictures of him. The star, known as Gaza, explained he cut his appearance on the programme short due to the effect of sleeping tablets. He has since revealed the anguish caused by the death of his nephew, Jay Kerrigan, 22, following an overdose. Gascoigne, who played 57 times for the national side, told the Daily Star Sunday how Jay's mother, Anna, the former footballer's sister, tried to get help for her son. Ahead of the inquest into Jay's death next month, he said, "I was with Anna when the service let Jay down and he accidentally overdosed and passed away." Now, I think this was probably the reason why he was drinking and stuff, and why it's been eating him up all these years, and why he's wanted why he's got this mental health problems and stuff. And he's starting to try and come back on track, and then suddenly something like this actually starts to barrages him and stuff, and kind of pushes his sort of confidence back. I'm hoping to save other people's lives, as I've lost my nephew, who said to me, "Uncle Paul, they won't help me. What did he have to do to get help?" Gascoigne, this is the thing, no one actually, what they say with people and stuff, who's got mental health problems, the government doesn't want to do anything, they don't want to help and stuff. It's all based around charities and stuff. That's the thing. There's a lot of charity works, a lot of people doing a lot of charity works to help people with addictions. But it's like sort of a self-help. You have to want the help yourself. So if you've got like an addiction problem, you definitely need to get the help. And you need to realise you've got that illness. Otherwise, they can't help you. If you can't actually sort of be honest with yourself, and you're in denial and stuff like this, with drinking problems, whether it's drinking, it's drugs, or anything else, then they can't, and you're not actually being honest with yourself, then I suppose that's why they need to do more about it with mental health problems and all that.
But he said last time that the newspaper people had sort of framed him with them bottles.
Oh yeah, because they started. Was it because last time he said he wasn't drinking at the time, and that his people were putting like bottles into his like grass, or trying to put it into bushes near his property and all that.
To throw them away.
And then he's picking them up to throw them away into the dustbin, and they quickly got a snapshot of him putting it in there, and then trying to make some story out. Now, maybe he's been drinking, maybe he hasn't. We don't know, because we don't actually understand we don't know the truth and stuff. And it's pointless pointing fingers at someone for doing something if they've done it or not. I mean, eventually the truth comes out in the end, guys and girls. It all comes out in the end. But it says, Gascoigne added, he goes, my sister, who I love so much, tried to get the mental health people to help him. He was in need of help, but they said he was not appropriate to receive any. So that's bad, isn't it? So you have to be appropriate. You have to have that support by the people, so they have to know if you're wanting that support. So basically, it's like a bingo system, really, actually.
Yeah. And I
like,
believe,
oh
I
well,
believe it. I believe that because I know through.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's sort of like a bingo system. Like, people don't want to help the people who's got mental health problems at the end of the day, or people who's disabled, and if disabled people got mental health problems as well, and they're trying to cope with their situation, and they're not getting the health checked out and all of that, or not actually having the help they need, then it's just, the system is just letting the people down and letting the people with mental health issues down. It's like the other day, there's this bloke who's in town, and he's on the streets, and he said he's got bipolar, but he said he's trying to find a place, a house to live in, because he's on the streets, homeless and all that. And he's got a drinking problem. He drinks alcohol, and the government doesn't want to help him.
But he said he can't get any help till about October.
Yeah, and he said he can't get help till October. So that's a long way off now, isn't it?
Yeah,
August, September, so another month and a little bit, a few weeks. But I think, to be honest, if the government did more to help with mental health issues and addiction, and maybe actually stop funding alcohol and stop selling it, or actually drugs, and stop actually legalizing drugs into the country and allowing this to come into the system, right? Because apparently children are getting hold of it now, and this is really bad. It's getting even worse. I mean, whether it's alcohol, I mean, it's like a few weeks ago, but I saw like loads of people last time, actually a couple of weeks ago, I saw loads of children literally all pissed up and all of that, and I'm thinking, what? And they don't even look like they've hit their teenage yet, and literally all scarpered all over the place, could hardly get up and all that, pissed up and all that. But
this person who's on the street, he turned around one day and said, the only time I'll get any help, he said, is if I'm in prison. He said, that's the only time I can get a bed.
Yeah, because the thing is, well, then again, people go to prison, right? If they've got mental health issues, prison ain't going to be a place to help them, is it?
No, but he said at least he gets a bed, don't he?
But this topic here, because this is the main sort of story I wanted to get down to, right? Now, what really annoys me is how the press actually puts him out, right? They're trying to do an assumption on him. They're assuming, right, that he's done something, whether he's done a sexual assault on this woman who's come forward and said, that he's basically touched her or something, or inappropriate place, or on a train, or whatever it is. Because it was in a train, he was arrested at a train station, so obviously he's probably getting on the train, or he was on the train and some incident happened. So the newspapers come in, they come and make these sort of, says police were called to Durham station to follow reports of a woman was inappropriately touched on board a train from York. So basically, on a train to York, basically, he's supposed to have done that incident. Now, he's been let off because they're doing further investigations. Now, this is kind of another sort of a situation, what they're doing at the moment. And this is what the papers do, because they actually tried to make money off scenarios like this. If they find, because they know he's had a history of alcohol and all that, and he's trying to recover now, he's trying to help himself to recover, which is a good thing, because, right, the first thing to do with addiction is actually to come forward and realise you have got an addiction. That's the first main thing. And that's the first step, to realise you have got an addiction. And then to be honest with yourself and all that. But if you can't be honest that you haven't got an addiction, and you're lying to yourself and all that kind of stuff. But he acknowledges that he's got like problems with drink, and that he actually went into rehab a few times. And actually, I was speaking to some person a few weeks ago, but and they said that in Weston-super-Mare, on the off note of it, apparently he was actually drafted, not drafted, but went to a rehab in Weston. I think this was like a month, 2 months gone back, or a couple of months gone back now. But apparently went to a rehab in Weston-super-Mare, down here. So down in this location. So,
at least that's what we heard.
And that's what we heard. We don't know if it's true or not. And I was hoping Paul Gasser would get on and try and get better and try and come off the alcohol and all that. I mean, I know he's doing it now. I'm hoping he's off the alcohol, and I'm hoping he's back to normal and trying to get his life back on track, which would be a fantastic thing. But the thing is, now this is kind of a little bit of a drawback. Now, if you, a couple of weeks gone back, with the incident with Cliff Richard. Now, I was watching the Cliff Richard where he's got off of court and all of that, because they basically, the BBC tried to get the police to go round to his house or something, or there was a story, something on the lines of it, where they were putting a post out about Cliff Richard, saying he was doing something, or it was something about a sexual assault or some shit like that. I can't remember what it was, but he managed to get free of it. He won his case, and they found he was actually innocent. But what they done, they put the information out, and they actually got cameras surrounding his whole place, and they kind of made him out as the bad guy, as a monster or some shit. And I think, to be honest,
and look at all that money he's actually.
Yeah, I know, and he's lost, and he's been fragile. He looks so actually like he looked ill at the time, and this is what goes on. Okay, you do have people who actually do get arrested. I mean, there's that incident with what's that bloke's name? That comedian bloke, Bill Cosby. Going around with all those women he's been sexually assaulting and all that kind of stuff. Now, I think to be honest, we don't know, right? Obviously, he's probably been arrested. I think he got arrested and went to prison or something, or he's gone to prison. I'm not too sure. I haven't read much about that one, but that was in America. But it's like, what about people who are actually innocent but end up get sent as guilty and says you're guilty as charged, even before innocent, it's innocent before proven guilty, but this time it's proven guilty before you're innocent. So you're going to prison if you're innocent straight away, and there's no need for it. What they need to do is the police need to actually do their job. The papers need to do their job. If they find a story and it's interesting, do not go for it straight away, because it's kind of messing up. And this is where you get all this fake news shit and stuff. And you don't know what to believe. And this is on Sky News. And what they're trying to do is make out Paul Gaza as some sort of sexual assaulter or some shit by the looks of it. I mean, with the title, Paul Gascoigne arrested at train station on suspicion of sexual assault. So, suspicion. So basically, Sky News, I've got a suspicion about him, whether he did it or did it not. Now, whether this woman actually had been touched by him, or he's been doing something on the train at the time and all that, and if he does get found out, and if he is actually guilty, then he should be locked up and thrown away with the key. But then, is it a part of his mental health issues? Could this be because of the way he's like his mental health state? Is this the way when he's been drinking alcohol? Is this what's turned him into it? Because you see people all the time when they're drinking alcohol. Alcohol can make people do funny, strange things. And I think, to be honest, they need to really ban alcohol. Alcohol, I've been reading up, alcohol is probably 70 to 80% more dangerous, maybe even 100% more dangerous than cannabis. Literally. Cannabis is like a baby compared to like most of the alcohols. Alcohol is one of the worst danger. It kills millions of people a year, hundreds of thousands and millions of people, and they usually get like liver cancer for all of it. And the thing is, what they need to do, I think we need a tighten on alcohol. We need to try and find out and help people with their mental health issues, because people have different types of mental health issues and all that, with different problems, different depressions, and we need to find out a solution to that problem and help them. We don't want to put them on the street so they end up doing something to themselves or hurting other people and all that, because that would be the worst case scenario that you could possibly do. And I think, to be honest, this could be another setup, because you hear sometimes where they're trying to set people up, film actors, stars, footballers, actors, and all these other actresses. They're trying to set them up and all that for no goddamn reason, just because of the money. But then the thing is, maybe this woman is setting them up. We don't know the actual whole sort of information about it, so this is like sort of another assuming, right? So we don't know the truth until the truth actually really comes out. And I might do another story on this at some point, another like topic on it, once we find out the truth on it. Because to be honest, Paul Gascoigne is one of my all-time favourite footballers of all time. He played for Newcastle and all of that, and apparently he's played for like 51 games or something, national games.
One of my favourites.
Yeah, actually 57 times for the national side. Yeah, so he's played 57 times for the national side.
He's one of my favourites.
Yeah, and he's played for different clubs as well. And to be honest, him and Vinnie Jones, when they had that sort of ball sack touching shit going on the pitch, where he was grabbing his balls and all of that, I'll tell you what, I bet Paul Gascoigne, I bet he felt a lot of pain at the time, because you see his face where he was getting grabbed by the balls by Vinnie Jones. But nasty shit though. But anyway,
I mean, it's like we clear. Didn't I tell you you'd never do a thing like that, didn't I?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, we don't know the truth until the truth actually comes out. That's why we need to make sure the media doesn't actually portray Gascoigne or any film actor, stars, or any stars at all, until they actually know. And really, they shouldn't be putting it in papers. Right, if they find out, and what they should do is the police should do their investigations into it, and they should do it so it's off the record. And then if at some point they do find out that he has done something, then they should go to the papers, report it as an article news, and they should say, right, we want this to be put down, that he's been arrested, he's gone to prison, blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff, and he's done such and such. Or he hasn't done such and such, and then get his name cleared and all that. Because this is, to be honest, I think either this is a sort of, the woman's trying to do it for money, but then again, he said he hadn't got any money now because of all the debts that Paul Gascoigne's had with his drinking. He's actually blown all his money on cars, drinking, alcohol, and all that kind of shit.
You know, Cliff Richard?
Yeah.
They should have paid him back every single penny that he had to spend.
Well, no, it's also down to the police as well, because they actually surrounded his whole entire place. And to be honest,
they should have sued them all and got every single penny back.
He should have got all the penny back and all that.
Everything.
Yeah, he deserved it after actually winning his case.
I always said he never done it. You know.
But that's the thing, and that's the way it goes, guys and girls. People do get set up for certain things, and people do not get certain set up. We need to try and come to a solution to this problem. And if we don't come to the solution, then some of our actual great stars of time and past and all that could end up getting in a lot of shit for no reason, whether they've done something or whether they haven't done anything. So we need to find out the truth.
And if they're found innocent, right, the women who's done it to them should go to prison.
Face justice.
Yeah, and should go to prison for it.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know anything about stuff on Donald Trump. A lot of women have been coming forward, haven't they, beforehand. That was about 2 years coming up to now. Or actually about a year ago when he came into office in 2016,
what people should do,
wasn't it?
If they've really been assaulted by these people, they should be done straight away, not wait till a few years and then bring up.
I mean, it's like basically, right, Donald Trump I like him, actually. I find he's fucking funny as hilarious, and some of the shit he comes up with is absolutely hilarious. But where he's had all these women come forward to do with his allegations of him basically touching them all up and or doing sexual assaults and all that kind of stuff. Now, there's been a lot of women come forward, whether he's done something or whether he's done nothing wrong. He and people like him will get their justice come up and at some point, whether he's done it or whether he hasn't. If he hasn't done anything at all, then he's off the hook. But the thing is, people done something and they've done something wrong, then they should own up and they should go to prison or they should do their time.
Yeah, but it should be done straight away when they've had it done.
Yeah, they should be done.
Not waiting months
or years or But anyway, we should definitely get to the bottom of this. I'm a big fan of Paul Gascoigne. I think he's an all-time legend, great footballer. Actually, I'll back in a minute. Anyway, guys and girls. Now, yeah, like my mum was saying just a second ago then, we're just having a little chat just there as I was pausing that. Now, some people can actually get set up or get made a mistake on them. You do it all the time. Now, my mum was on about, there's this person last time, right, was told by the police that they arrested him on doing a sexual assault, and then this woman came forward afterwards and said to this woman was the one who said this bloke was actually sexually assaulted her. Then she found out because she was drunk at the time and all that, she realised afterwards it wasn't actually him. So sometimes it can be down to a mistake. So maybe Paul Gascoigne was actually in the wrong place at the wrong time, or maybe this woman did get sexually assaulted by him. But we don't know the truth until we find out the facts. And this is where people say, oh, well, we've got to point out the facts and we've got to put out the non-facts and all that. And this is where people get confused sometimes. Because if you put something out there wrong and you make it turn it into something, into a story, and you cut only half of the story out, then you're only left with half. So you're not left with the full story. And I think, to be honest, what they should do is actually investigate both Paul Gascoigne and this woman who was doing that. So they should actually talk to both sides of the party, if you see what I mean, and then try and combine it and see what's true and what's not true, whether anything's made out of it and all that, or nothing made out, and then just try and work from there. But usually DNA comes into it, so whether he put his hand on a skirt or something or done something, then probably maybe left a little handprint or something, or some DNA there, maybe some from his fingernail or something. There's always a way to find out about DNA. But then again, DNA is not always 100%, and lie detectors are the same as well. You can't find 100% out. Could be just accidentally fell over and just pushed or touched women by accident, and then they end up getting in the shit for it. But anyway, you let us know in your comments below, guys and girls, right? Whether we need more help on the National Health Service to do with the mental health state, and maybe even a lot more on depression and these mental illnesses and stuff like bipolar and all these other stuff. We need more help on those situations and those diseases, and we need to find out a way we can help people get back their lives rather than sucking the life out of them and making them do the wrong thing or taking the wrong path. Anyway, cheers for watching. Stay safe, guys and girls, and I'll see you on the next episode.